Let's just get right into it today because we are joined by the ones, the onlys, Mr. Kyle Cooke and Miss Amanda Batula.
Hello, hello. Hey, David.
Kymanda is in the house.
Yep, the unofficial but then official hashtag for her wedding.
Well, on to that point, I mean, listen, I want to talk all about Winter House in a few minutes, but before we get there, congratulations.
Thank
you.
Appreciate it.
I mean, I'm single, so what do I know? But, they say, listen, you guys started dating in 2015, you got engaged in 2018, you're supposed to get married in 2020. So, and you live together. So, I mean, does it feel different? I mean, that's what they say. Like, nothing's different, right? Or does it really feel different?
I think that concept came about when people were waiting, were saving themselves for marriage, or were waiting to move in together after they got married. We've been living together. We've seen it all on TV. I feel like nothing has changed in our relationship other than some extra jewelry.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good to put a rubber stamp on it. You know, it's like, and obviously the wedding itself was something that, it was an amazing day, but the planning that was required leading up to it was like, oh my God. So, I mean, that's a nice thing. Like when we wrap up a long work day, it's not like we have something we have to plan.
Yeah, but nothing feels different now that we're married, but I feel like there's a lot more love. It's just we're husband
it's a little
and
more
wife.
official.
Yeah,
it is official. Are you gonna change your last name, Amanda?
I'm struggling with this. Our children, if we're so blessed to have any, will be Cooks, 100%. But Batula is such a rare last name. I think I'm the only Amanda Batula in the whole world. At least that's the story I'm going with. And I feel like I can't just become someone else.
Like she has the Amanda Batula handle,
Amanda Cooke is taken and all the good other iterations of it are not on Instagram. So I got to keep my last name.
It's and you're okay with that, Kyle, right?
Which
is really not the question. It's like that sets the women's movement, I guess, back many years. I shouldn't even be asking that, but just curious.
Honestly, it's like whatever's easiest.
I'm fine. If someone calls me Mrs. Cooke, are in life, just being referred to as Mrs. Cooke, but I think legally and on Instagram, I'll still be Amanda Batula.
I love it. I mean, is it true what they say also? Do you guys remember the day? Because, I have so many married friends that say it just goes by so fast and it's a blur.
And we knew that, right? We've heard it too. And I would say it's actually mind-boggling how fast it goes by.
I had a different experience. I took every moment in to take a step back and just look around. Actually, after we got married, after the ceremony, when we walked back up the aisle, I had Kyle turn around and I was just look at all the people that are here for us right now. Take this moment in and just look at everyone. This is insane. And I feel like I did that a lot throughout the wedding day and night. And as I was going through it, and the next day, it was I remember every single moment. That day felt like the longest day ever. Now I'm trying to put pieces together and I'm wow, it's all just a blur.
Who got more emotional between the two of you?
Him, because
probably.
I had multiple breakdowns before the wedding. So I had no more tears to cry.
Yeah,
I cried all the weeks leading up to it.
Yeah, it was just kind of surreal, when she kind of came down the aisle and I knew I'd written my vows that morning. And, it was kind of hard to not feel emotional. I mean, we've been through a lot and here we are among all our closest friends and family, and they're there to celebrate us. And, it was just a surreal experience,
Well, you did have a lot of Bravo celebrities there. Was there anyone from the Bravo world that was invited that couldn't make it?
A lot of our Vanderpump Rules friends, just because a lot of them have kids now and flying and, COVID, it was difficult to make it over.
Like Lala and all of those.
We're closest, with, of course, we haven't seen them in a while, and it's hard to keep in touch. But Stassi, Bo, Tom, Kate, Jackson, Brittany, we'd invited them, but we kind of half assumed that like it's going to be a challenge to get here.
A lot has changed since that original save the date went out.
Yes, it has. Who got the drunkest out of all the Bravo celebrities?
Well, I think Craig's already kind of admitted this on Watch What Happens Live, but I think Craig took the cake.
He didn't physically take the cake, but
yeah, I guess you can't say that expression at a wedding, but you know what I mean.
I do. And somehow that doesn't shock me that it was Craig. So many couples, like when you're on reality TV, it's hard to stay together. Do you think it helps? Like, does it help the fact that both of you, are on Summer House and like well recognized? Like, does that help, you think?
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
am I reading
it's
too
tough.
much?
No, it's tough to be a couple on a show, put it all out there for everybody to pick apart. For a while, we also, there haven't been a ton of couples with us along this ride. I think it's helped that Amanda's been there from day one. Like, I can't imagine bringing someone new into the mix and expecting that to go smoothly. I don't think any show that's actually worked out.
Yeah. I think the hardest part has been, fans and friends and trolls, unsolicited advice and opinions. But everyone's different. So 100% you might not agree with the way I handled something because it's not you. And that's why you're not dating Kyle and I am.
And now you're married to Kyle. So there you go.
Yeah.
What about, like you said, like Amanda was there from like the beginning of Summer House. Like when you started Summer House, did you ever think you guys would be here? Like several seasons later, now we have Winter House, married. Did you ever predict this?
No, I mean, I to be honest, I really wasn't even too familiar with Bravo, when we signed up, and it's kind of hard to think that, oh my God, we've literally the last 6 summers we've filmed a TV show. It's kind of crazy, and now we, like you said, we did Winter House, so we feel very fortunate to be given the opportunity, time and time again.
Yeah, but when I first met Kyle, I had no idea that he was going to do this show. But there was something about him that I just felt like an instant connection with. And the way I went about our entire relationship from the beginning was very different than any other one. I kind of did things like at his pace and went along with it and felt really comfortable and safe doing so. So I kind of always knew from the beginning that there's like a strong possibility that he could be the one. And then he dragged me onto reality TV, and it's a lot more work from there on out, but we made it through.
Yeah. It's kind of all been out there.
Sorry to cut you off. I was going to say, do you guys have a high, like when you look back at like, your time on Summer House, like, is there one thing that stands out as like kind of the high for you?
I mean,
there's some of it's, obviously getting engaged and having that to look back at for the rest of our lives is something so special. And just some of our like cute, silly moments, like drunk late night, whether we're like in the living room or in the kitchen or, just being silly in the morning together, that stuff that you don't normally have captured. And we have all of that footage to look back at and be like, look how happy, we are, look how silly we are being together. Like this is us. And
I think, we obviously filmed the proposal. That summer was a chaotic summer for me, on a personal level, business, and to actually pull it off. And she said, yes, was like, oh my God, like I'm going to live through this and it's all going to be okay. And I think, sure, we could have gotten married and eloped and all that good stuff. But, the fact that we filmed our wedding, I think is going to also just be an awesome kind of like full circle that I can't wait to watch.
Yeah.
Like we haven't seen any footage yet.
And we've also had a lot of lows, and those are nice to watch back and learn from.
Well, speaking of like things that were dramatic, we don't need to harp on this, but right, like you have filmed the new season of Summer House and it's coming out at some point in the future and we'll see your wedding. Look, last season was COVID and we had, more drama in a sense with Summer House than I think we've ever had, with Hannah. Like, was this with her being gone just like a lighter season? Like, did you feel, and the world's in a different place, like this just feel like a lighter season overall? And you don't have to give me any spoilers because I don't need to know anything.